Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me today. I put a bit of base on and a little bit of bronzer just to warm my complexion up because I didn't sleep well again last night. Really suffering from insomnia at the moment. But my Charlotte Tilbury order has arrived. So I've got all of the products from the Pillow Talk collection. Now, some of the things that she's brought out are re-releases, so I didn't buy the whole collection all in one go, and I'm going to tell you about that now. So let me tell you first of all what is new and what is a re-release. Okay, first to the re-releases. These were out a while back and I purchased them then, so I didn't have to get them this time because I haven't used them up yet. So we have the two Beauty Light ones in Pillow Talk. And one of them is called Pillow Talk and the other one is Pillow Talk Medium. Okay, these are a re-release that is coming out today as we speak, as I'm filming. I got them on VIP pre-sale. Okay, no, I didn't get those on pre-sale, but they're coming out today. Right, and then the other re-release are the two lip and cheek glows. Okay, which are, there's two shades, Colour of Passion and Colour of Dreams. Now, I actually love this one, Colour of Dreams. I've used a lot, as you will probably see. It's been very well used. I love this shade. It's such a lovely natural shade. This one I haven't used as much. Just never warmed to this shade as much. As you can probably see, I kind of used it a little bit, but definitely not as much as that one. But I'm going to swatch everything for you in a second. Now let's get on to the new releases. Can you see my face getting excited? Okay, we have two of these powder highlighter palettes called Pillow Talk Multi Glow. And there are two shades. You've got your warm shades and you've got your light shades. Now, these weren't necessarily get one if you've got dark skin and get one if you've got light skin. I'm going to explore that in this video because I think that they could possibly work for a lot of different people, and it's not necessarily go for this one if you're fair and go for this one if you're dark, right? It can also be about the kind of look that you're going for, whether you want a cooler look or you want a warmer look. But we will discover this. As you can see, I haven't even opened these yet. So I'm going to do that in a minute. Now this I'm super excited about because I actually predicted and suggested that she brought this out a few years ago. And if I find the clip, I'm not going to root through it today, but I might put it out tomorrow. But this is her new Pillow Talk mascara, but it's a new shade called Dream Pop. Now, the reason I'm super excited about this is it's a burgundy type shade. And the good thing about that is it will make eyes pop. So I'm really excited to try this. Really. And I do love, actually, the Pillow Talk mascara. It's one of the mascaras I reach for the most because the brush is really good at curling my lashes. I've got lashes, but they go straight out and you can't see them. And this is the best mascara for me. Mascara is one of those things that's very personal to what you need from it. Okay? Which is why whenever you look up a review of a mascara, you will see everything from this is the best mascara in the world to the worst mascara in the world, depending on who's reviewing. And neither which are lying. It's just that they have very different needs. But we shall explore that, and we shall explore whether or not, explore whether or not this really does make your eyes pop, and I'm hoping it does. Can you see I'm excited? Right, moving on. We then have a new eye palette called Pillow Talk Dreams. Now, I was sent a Instagram post from one of you where the person was quite critical about this, saying, not very imaginative. I don't watch YouTube reviews before I do my reviews. I only see the stuff that people send me. So I'm just going to reserve my opinion until I try it out for myself. One thing I will say is I do think that Charlotte Tilbury is using the words pillow talk on everything now in order to get sales, because they know that pillow talk sells. And I kind of think, is this pillow talk? Maybe it is for darker skin. That's what I want to find out. That's what I want to ask myself. And is it a pretty palette? So there are all the products. I'm going to open them up. I'm going to swatch them and I'll be right back. Just a very quick note before I open everything up and swatch it. I do love these boxes. I do love the pink. And I love the fact that it kind of distinguishes all the Pillow Talk items from everything else in my collection. But eventually I get rid of the boxes because they get grubby. I just wish that Charlotte would actually put this colour in the palette and actually have a pink outer casing on the palette. Please, please, pretty please. That would be so nice, and then you could distinguish your Pillow Talk products from everything else. Oh my God, it's as if she heard me from above. Look at that. I had no idea until I opened it that that was what the top was going to look like. I'd seen some pictures of the actual highlighter inside, but didn't realise. Now, please, Charlotte, do that with the eyeshadow palettes as well. Please, please, please. Pretty please. Okay, I'm coming back. Right, I have to carry on with this video because I've been waylaid. Jack's come in, I've cooked him dinner. I've been answering swatch requests on Instagram and the light's going. So let's get on now that I've done all the swatches. Hopefully you've just seen them, and we'll get on and do a little look with this these new products. And I'll talk you through them as I go, what I think about them. Now, I'm going to use these instead of these, although you'll have seen swatches of both. Just because these are brand new, these are a re-release, okay? So I'm going to actually do the ones that are brand new, okay? And now, I need to talk to you about this. Now, my first impression of swatching this was that these mattes are incredibly smooth. They're like silk. So I really love the formula, but there's a but coming because I have a very eagle-eyed Ali Pally. Deborah Spaolio. I think it's Spaolio. I'm sorry if I've pronounced your surname incorrectly. But she has asked me to do a swatch comparison of this with Charlotte Darling. And I'm going to put that swatch comparison here now. They're very similar. See what I mean? Now, there is one significant difference, is that this does have what they call a super pop. So I'm going to be interested to see how this applies on the eyes and whether it's worth the difference, because otherwise it's very, very similar to Charlotte Darling, okay? The other shades are very similar, but I do love the texture of these. They're very, very smooth. They feel like silk when you swatch them. Okay, let's get on and put this on my eyes. Okay, let's follow Charlotte's formula. Prime, Enhance, Smoke, Super Pop. Okay, so the first one is going to be very eye brightening, I can tell. And it's got quite a few glitter particles in it. So, oh, but look at that. Doesn't that look pretty on the eye? I do think that although these are a similar shade and a similar colour story, they feel very different in terms of the formula. I'm saying that immediately as I'm applying it. Right, I'm going to put some on the other eye. Okay, now with a prime shade, it's supposed to prime the whole eye. I'm just being a bit careful not to go too near the hood because it has got quite a bit of shimmer in it and a bit of glitter that's sort of coming out over the palette a bit. So I don't really want to get too sparkly near the hood. But the next shade is a matte shade. The Enhance and the Smoke is a matte shade. So I should be a little bit safer. I'm just going to wipe off the same brush so that I get rid of the glitter particles on my hand. And then I'm going to go in with this. This kind of very silky formula reminds me of another palette. And I'm trying to think which one it was. I think it was the one that came out with Exaggerize, but it wasn't Exaggerize. What was the other one that came out with Exaggerize? I'm going to have to put it below. It reminds me of that. A very silky texture. Transform Eyes. That was it. Now, my eyes are not looking great today because I didn't sleep, as I said. I'm looking a bit tired. So hopefully this will transform me. Okay, there's quite a bit of a kind of reddy tone in this, which at the moment is not helping me in terms of tired lookingness. That's not a word, is it? Right, next we're going to go in with the Smoke shade. Okay, so Smoke shade, which is a darker chocolate brown. Again, be very careful because it seems like it's picking up an awful lot on the brush. So tap it off and see how much. Obviously, with the way Charlotte does these is she uses the smoke for an evening look. But if you've got medium to dark skin like mine, I tend to always use the Smoke shade, even for a daytime look, especially in that corner to hide the hood. If you've got fairer skin, you might just use it to line your eyes. Now, I can see why she's called this Pillow Talk, because it's still kind of that, it's a darker version of the same colour story, but then it kind of makes you think, well, it's so similar to Charlotte Darling, that maybe Charlotte Darling should have been called Pillow Talk. Is it just another way of remarketing the same eyeshadow and putting Pillow Talk on it to sell? We shall see. But it does look slightly different on me. I'm going to have to do, I'll tell you what I'm going to do one day, maybe at the weekend. I'm going to do one eye with this palette and I'm going to do the other eye with Charlotte Darling, because I need to test this out now. Because I think this is looking slightly different. Even though the swatches look very similar, I think this is looking slightly different on me than Charlotte Darling. It's looking sort of more, Charlotte Darling is like it's sort of a brownie gold colour story. This has got more pink in it. So I'm doing a very rough go of this while I'm kind of talking through with you. Now, the only thing is with this, can I use it as a highlighter under my brow? I'm just popping some of the prime shade. Yeah, just about. It's quite sparkly though, so be careful and kind of blend it in. See, it's quite sparkly. Let's see if this works in the corner. Yep. Again, it's just a slightly smidgen dark to do that, but can just about get away with it. Now, I'm really excited to try this Super Pop, and I'm going to put it on with my fingers. It doesn't feel like her old pop shades. It's not got the emollients in it. It is a powder, so you could, if you wanted, apply it with your fingers. Now, this has got a shimmer, and it's sort of got silver sparkles in it, as well as the shade. So let's see how this works. It's very pretty, but I will say that if it's going to look the same as Charlotte Darling, it's not different enough to justify purchasing another palette. But this whole look, I don't know, it just seems to me to be slightly different on my skin than Charlotte Darling. I'm going to have to do this video, aren't I? Right now, I'm super, super, super excited to try the Pillow Talk mascara. So I'm just going to pop some Pillow Talk eyeliner on my eyes, and I'll be right back so that we can look at the mascara. Okay, that Pillow Talk eyeliner looks super pretty with this eyeshadow palette. And now to the new mascara. Here is what it looks like. Oh, look, you can see that very well. Let me just swatch a little bit on my hand. So that's the kind of colour it looks like. Okay, so let's get going with this. I can't wait. Okay, that's the mascara. Now, I've just put on a little bit of the eye cheat as well, just so that you can see the colour. I'm going to zoom in. Now, the thing that's really surprised me about this is I thought that this was going to be a subtle pigment. But it's actually really quite saturated. And you can actually see that it's not a black mascara on my eyelashes. Now, my eyelashes are virtually black. As you can see, this is my natural hair colour now. I haven't dyed it for a year. Apart from the greys coming through, my natural hair colour is almost black. And yet you can see the colour. So if you've got fair lashes, you're really going to see this. It's a super saturated colour. It's actually very nice though, because it's not too red. I remember getting a mascara in the Urban Decay Naked Heat collection. Now, was it by Urban Decay or did I buy it from another brand? I can't remember. But it was a kind of reddy burgundy mascara. And it actually made me look tired because there was too much red in it. This, again, is like the eyeliner. I said this about the eyeliner when it came out. And I'm saying the same thing. What's great about this is it's got just the right amount of red, but not too much so that it doesn't make you look tired. If it's got too much red in it, it will. It's a brownie red. It's actually really pretty. Now, one thing I will say, and I'm not sure at the moment, I need to test this out a bit longer, is it doesn't appear to be curling my lashes as much. Now, that might be just because it's not black and I can't see my lashes as much. But also it's clumping a little bit together, my lashes together, when I put on the second coat. As you can see, they're sticking together a little bit there. So I'm not so sure that the formula is quite as good as the black formula. But it may just be that the colour is distracting me a little bit. But it's very pretty. And I definitely think it makes your eyes pop. And I would definitely suggest that if you're interested in this mascara, that you get the eye cheat to go with it. Because I think the eye cheat really helps the eyes to open up. And it kind of accentuates the slightly different coloured lash. And it really makes a big difference. I should have shown you a before and after. But it really, I think this is a really good combo. If you haven't got the eye cheat, you're not going to regret the eye cheat. I wouldn't bother getting the Exaggerise pencil. Go for the eye cheat. It's far better. It stays on a lot longer. It's a better formula. I would definitely recommend that with this mascara. Let's now move on to the new face products. Okay, now you're probably, like me, thinking, which one of these should I get? And I ended up getting both of them. For reviewing on my channel, of course. It's my excuse these days. I couldn't decide. And actually, I wasn't sure whether or not it was literally, you should go for the warmer one if you're darker skinned and the paler one if you're lighter skinned. I don't know whether it's that simple, okay? And the reason I said that is when you've probably just seen the swatches. And so you could just say, right, I'm fair skinned, so I'm going to go for the lighter one of the two, which is Romance Light, this one. Or you could decide you just like warmer highlighters and go for the other one. I will say that this might be quite dark as a highlighter if you're very fair-skinned. However, if you like the look of these, and they are very pretty, and again, I don't get any commission for selling Charlotte Tilbury, you could, I think, get away. I'm going to try this with using this as a blush and the other one as a highlighter. Now, in the name of science, I'm going to try it out. I know we've got the lip and cheek glows, which I haven't yet used, but you've seen me apply them so many times. I might put a little bit over the top in a minute. But just in the name of science, I'm going to try applying one as the lighter one as a highlight and the darker one, sorry, that's the lighter one, and the darker one as a blush, and see if this is too sparkly to be a blush, just in case you're tempted. So let's do the darker one first, and I'll try and apply it as a blush. And I'm just going to mix all the shades together. Of course, you can mix them up, or you can use them separately. And also, don't forget with these, you can also use them as eyeshadows. So, yeah, you can get away with that as a blush. Look at that. It actually reminds me quite a bit of the Pillow Talk Cheek to Cheek blush, because that's got quite a bit of highlighty stuff in it. So this one that I've just put on is Dream Light. And it's not too dark. So even if you're fairer skinned, you could, if you're tempted, I don't want to tempt you to spend your money if you want to choose between one or two, but you could get one as a blush and get the other one as a highlight. I think that's really pretty. Right, now let's put the other one on as a highlighter. My stomach's rumbling because I need to eat in a minute. This one is Romance Light. And again, I'm just going to smoosh them all together and tap them off because it does pick up quite a lot of product. And I actually quite like the warm next to the very cool. So this is very cool toned. Very cool toned indeed. So if you've got a warm undertone, it's going to be a stark contrast with your complexion, which is not necessarily a bad thing. And if you're fair skinned, this is definitely, if you're very pale and you want a highlighter, then definitely go for Romance Light. So, Romance Light, Dream Light. I think one works very well as a blush. And I will be trying out the other one as a highlighter in the next coming days as well, so that you can see it as a highlighter, because it could work as a highlighter as well. Okay? So if you want an excuse to spend money, I've just given it you. Now, what I will do is put a little bit of a flush of something on my cheeks. And I'm always, this is my favourite one, Colour of Dreams. But I'm going to put Colour of Passion on today. I'm going to step out of my comfort zone because I don't use this a lot. And I need to start using it a lot. And it's quite a plummy shade. And it will go with this eye look. I'm just going to put a little bit there and a little bit there. Now, the other little tip is, if you are a mad collector like myself, and you've either bought or you're going to buy the entire collection, you can always put this on first, one of the Beauty Light ones, and then you can put the powder over the top, and it's really going to make it pop, and you're going to glow like a beacon. Just some ideas of how you can use the collection. Just need to blend that in a bit. And then let's just, again, so that you can see this, I'm not really a fan of putting these on my lips, these chip and leak glows. I keep doing that all the time. These lip and cheek glows, apparently that's called spoonerism. By the way, when you do that, my nan used to do it a lot and say, has anyone got any parametasol? When she was asking for paracetamol. But I digress. Let's put on a little bit of Colour of Passion on my lips, so that anyone that's considering buying this on re-release can see what it looks like. My lips are so dry at the moment. I need to use some of the lip oil. And just so you can see the other one, which is my favourite, and I've used this a lot. This reminds me a lot of the Victoria Beckham blush that she brought out when she did a collaboration with Estee Lauder. It's very similar shade. I'm just going to put a dab of that in the middle. And this actually works really well as a bit of a bronzer. So you can just dab some up there. I wouldn't use the darker one unless you're darker than me, because it would be too dark to use as a bronzer. But this will give you that kind of sun-kissed, I've been out in the sun, I've caught the sun, even though it's snowing in the UK today. Like that. So that's the entire Pillow Talk collection. I hope that this has been helpful. If you've got any questions, do let me know. I will tell you that you have got, just in terms of weights, in the Pillow Talk Multi Glow, which are £35, you have got 7 grams or 0.24 ounces of product in there, so quite generous amounts and very pretty packaging. Please, Charlotte, bring this packaging out for your other Pillow Talk eyeshadows. Let's have that on the Pillow Talk eyeshadows. Now, let's have a look at the eyeshadow before I go. It is 6 grams, so actually more product. They've actually increased the amount of product, because originally these palettes were 5.2 grams. Then they reduced it to 5 grams. And then in those palettes, remember them? The Hollywood filter palettes? They were something like 2.8 grams. They're now 6 grams. So you are getting quite a bit more. That's quite a pleasant surprise. Well done, Charlotte Tilbury. Any questions about anything else that I haven't thought to say, please just leave your questions below. And thank you all so much for joining me today. I think what I would prefer to use on my lips with this look is Pillow Talk Intense. But of course, you've got the whole spectrum of Pillow Talk lipsticks that you can choose from with this look. And do join me at the weekend when I am going to do one eye with the new Pillow Talk Dreams and the other eye with Charlotte Darling, because I've just got to find out whether or not they look different on my eyes. Take care and thank you for watching. Love you all. Mwah!